What's up everyone, we're back with some mono bug. So there was a lot of discussion in my Discord about kind of mono bug recently and how good it is in the tier at the moment. I think it's a pretty good type given the fact we've got Volcarona and Caesar back. Heavy duty boots helped a lot. It doesn't have too many losing matchups I feel. Obviously it loses to fire. Flying can be tough, but we don't see that too often, and rain can be difficult as well just because of how overwhelming rain can be. So I decided today I'm going to play some mono bug. A follower of mine, Pocket Monsters, requested this in my previous video, so hopefully you enjoy it. And for those of you who don't know, Bug was actually my main type pre-DLC, back when it wasn't so good, back before we had like Volcarona and Caesar and the likes, or even Heracross was a great addition. I really enjoyed the type. So I'm going to see how it fares in the post-DLC. This is not my usual Bug type team I would use. I've kind of made this one to play with in the showcase. So hopefully it goes well, and unfortunately I actually had a 45-minute video recorded with the other bug team that I ended up forgetting to plug in my microphone, so the audio was completely messed up. So we're going to jump into the team and hopefully it'll be a good episode. So first off we have Araquanid. Araquanid's going to be my sticky web team support, as well as providing Toxic. Overall just great team support, really high special defense and HP, meaning it can tank quite a lot, take quite a beating, and it's super important because of Water Bubble. So what Water Bubble does is actually allows us to not be burned, which means you can swap in on Will-O-Wisp with ease. It takes half damage from fire attacks as well, which is super important. So due to its part water typing, it is effectively a half by damage from fire attacks, which is really good, especially if you're not running Center Scorch. And finally, it actually doubles the power of water moves, so on top of stab, it puts liquidation to be quite strong, even though it has a pretty measly 177 attack stat. So next up we have Volcarona. So I'm actually going to run a kind of bulkier Volcarona with max defense, bold nature. The reason for this, it can take kind of neutral hits from like Earthquake and Knockoff and things like Drapion, which can kind of give the team a bit of trouble. And I'm not going to run Bug Buzz, so I'm going to try without, just to see how it goes. We do have a lot of Bug Stab in the team as it is. So I'm running Psychic for poison types, especially like Amoonguss and Toxapex, who can give my team trouble. Fiery Dance is just good stab and has a chance of increasing my special attack. Might have to change that to Fire Blast depending on if I need the immediate power. And finally Giga Drain is good for hitting things like rock types, ground types, things that kind of can give my team a bit of trouble, water types as well, and just a bit of longevity as well, especially after some Quiver Dances. So next up we have Bulky Caesar. It's a max HP Caesar. The reason for this is it can take a lot of hits. I believe it can take a Wicked Blow from Urshifu and kind of click Dual Wing Beat, which can one-hit KO it. On top of that, it's Bullet Punch 4, which is really strong priority stab and technician boosted. So for those of you who don't know, Dual Wing Beat is actually going to be a 60 by 2 power because it's boosted by technician. This can also take a +1 hit from Scyther, which is important. Defog will be used in the late game if I need it. I won't be often defogging because I like my sticky webs, I like my spikes for the pressure it puts on the opponent, but you never know when I need to like kind of get rid of the overwhelming entry hazards. And finally Swords Dance is nice to set up. You can actually Swords Dance and Dual Wing beat Toxapex, which does a ton of damage. It does around 60% I think to Toxapex, which is really good. Speaking of Toxapex, we have our answer here. It's Vikavolt. So it's giving my choice specs kind of lead. It fakes out to think it's like a sticky web lead a lot of the time, so things try to taunt it or like magic bounce it and you just hit with a really powerful Volt Switch or really powerful Thunderbolt, which Volt Switch can grab a bit of... Sorry, you're disconnected there. So Volt Switch can grab a bit of momentum, Thunderbolt is just a good stab, and so is Bug Buzz. And finally Energy Ball is there to catch off ground types like Seismitoad or Castrodon. The EV spread is to guarantee I live a Specs hit from max special attack, Specs Pelipper with Hurricane, which can really hurt my team. So next up we have Golisopod. Golisopod is really good in the end game. It can put a lot of pressure on the first impression and Aquajet for priority moves. Liquidation is just there for a strong stab, and water does pair nicely with Bug, so it's important to have that. And finally we have Spikes. Spikes puts pressure on teams in the late game, so I can just throw down Spikes, and if it's only a couple of Pokemon left or swap in between, it really puts pressure on them, which is nice. And finally we have Heracross, which is my speed control. Heracross is a Choice Scarf user, Moxie. So when Heracross kind of comes in, just clicks close combat or clicks like Stone Edge on things and really hurts them. And the reason for that is to gain a moxie boost and kind of sweep in the late game, especially with things like sticky web. I can actually outspeed a lot of choice scarf users. I can outspeed a lot of like swift swim users in the rain as long as I have my sticky webs down. And as well as that, it also gives it a decent speed tier. If the opponent puts sticky webs in my team and they're not choice scarf, I can outspeed a lot of them still. So that's the team. We're going to find some games and hopefully get some wins. I'll be right back. So we have our first game and it's against Mono Psychic. So right off the bat, I can see Volcarona puts in some decent work in this game, though I am missing Bug Buzz, which can be an issue. I have to worry about Indeedee as it can be quite strong. But to open up, they could be a Trick Room team given the fact they have Bronze on, so I can't sleep on this team. But I will open up Vikavolt as it's a good middle ground for most things they have the answer to. So they open up Bronzong, and off this I'm going to click Thunderbolt on what I expect to be some rocks coming out. If they go in Hatterene expecting Sticky Web, I can take Hatterene down, which is super nice. So I either get Bronzong or get serious damage off on something else this turn, which is super good for me. Renucleus can be a threat in the late game as well, but I absolutely love Heracross's ability to click Knockoff and Megahorn in this game. So with regards to Indeedee, we can kind of scout if they are specs. If I swap into my Araquanid, we can see now as the Expanding Force. So that looks to be Scarf damage as far as I know. I will open up my damage calc and just check. So we have Araquanid here and Indeedee. Where is Indeedee Choice Scarf? Is this it? That's Choice Specs, so make that Expanding Force. So yeah, that looks to be Scarf damage, based on the fact it didn't kill. Which means we're going to sack our Araquanid here and get in Caesar, I think, and just click Dueling Beat. There's nothing particularly so perhaps it was actually Terrain Extender, which is fine because Heracross kind of comes in now and just clicks Megahorn and something coming in. If they go into Jirachi, good play. As they go in Hatterene, and unfortunately I miss, which sucks for me. But Vikavolt is kind of expendable at this point in the game, as they Trick Room. So I'll try Volt Switch, but if they're Mystical Fire, I think I die here too, as they are also Expanding Force. Damn, so this game looks to be a quick L, as their Psychic Terrain does end this turn, but they unfortunately still have Trick Room up. So maybe Heracross can work as magic in the final turn. And missing that Megahorn really hurts. Good play going Indeedee there to block my first impression. But this is the position I want to be in, where maybe Megahorn can just... Okay, it misses twice, so GG. Unfortunate game there, but I guess that's what happens when you run a 85% accurate move. So we're going to try to find another game, and I'll be right back. So we have a game, and it's against Mono Normal. So Mono Normal can be a little threatening, as Indeedee can be a bit of a threat. So can Ditto if it copies my Heracross. But I do love Heracross in this game. So first off, I think I open up with Araquanid because they do not like sticky webs one bit. I'm going to try Toxic this Porygon and what might be a teleport. So having that Toxic for the late game is super important for me, as they swap into Snorlax. So this thing can be an issue, especially if it's a curse build. So I'm going to get my sticky webs up and then kind of just lunge it, keeping its attack stat as low as possible. Or, yeah, I'll try lunge it here, keeping its attack stat as low as possible. And they'll be forced to rest soon. Nice, so at -1 attack, Caesar can kind of just come in and get up a one Swords Dance. Or, no, I'm going to continuously lunge this thing. It can't do too much to me. It can rest talk up for a while, But as long as I keep its attack low thanks to lunge, it almost forces a swap out, and they go Chansey. So Chansey can get stealth rocks down here, which is kind of annoying for me. So I'm going to go Heracross and try and knock off anything coming in. Nothing like swapping to a close combat besides maybe their Ditto. As they go in Porygon 2, and they give me the Eviolite, which is pretty nice for the late game. So I'm going to go Vikavolt here and try Volt Switch to keep up momentum. If they go Diggersby, good play. If they go back into Chansey, I'm going to click Bug Buzz. I think it hits, yeah, it hits things neutrally. As that does a ton of damage considering it's Chansey. So here I'll go Scizor, who can kind of just click Swords Dance. I do have to be a bit wary about them getting their Ditto and copying me though, which is something I have to look out for. So I'm just going to click Dual Wing Beat in their face as they go back into Pori. So that does okay damage, but they do have rocks down, so I need to start pressuring them with spikes, I think. So I need to put myself in the position where I can get spikes on their side of the field. So I take an Araquanid again, and I think I just click Toxic. Actually I click Liquidation, as it does a decent chunk to pretty much anything. As they T-Wave me. So they don't seem to be running anything that can hit Golisopod. So here I can get pressure with spikes, as they don't have any defoggers in their team. So that pressure is going to be important for me in the late game. If they go Indeedee, I again scout for them being Scarf or Specs with my Araquanid. Though they are slowed down to the position now where Heracross can OHKO them. So here, definitely nothing like swapping into a close combat. As they give me Pori, which is nice. So these spikes are going to start applying pressure to the opponent. But I need to keep Heracross healthy for the late game. So if they go in Ditto here and copy me, great play. This can be an issue. So I'm actually going to try outspeed them, as I do. And I get the KO as well. It's super important for me, as this pretty much lets me get more KOs now, as Ditto is the biggest threat to my team. As they go Diggersby, presumably wanting to quick attack, and at this stage I feel Vikavolt is quite expendable. Nice, that doesn't even kill me, and I click Bug Buzz here, just getting some damage. As I'm guessing they are banded. So I go back into Scizor here, and I kind of click Dual Wing Beat in case Indeedee comes out, but I'm in the position now where I'm starting to be able to Swords Dance with ease. Nice, so they give me tons of damage on Scizor. I'm sorry, on Snorlax. And this Dual Wing Beat should just shy of knocking them out. Not to worry, as they are not a Sleep Talk variant. So I get the KO there with Scizor. I expect Indeedee to come out here. And on Indeedee, I just sack Volcarona. If it's Expanding Force, I come back into Scizor. If it's Mystical Fire, I can go into Golisopod. As it's Mystical Fire, so that shouldn't be able to kill me, and I actually value any damage I can get off here. That's fine, they go into Chansey. As I said, absolutely any damage at this point in the game matters. So Chansey lets me take in Scizor and click Dual Wing Beat again. The reason I'm not clicking my Bullet Punch is because it can be eaten up by Indeedee Psychic Terrain. So what I do is I click Dual Wing Beat this turn, as they opt to go for Seismic Toss. So I'm going to Swords Dance here, kind of like pressuring them, like saying, hey, you need to take out Indeedee to get rid of my Psychic Terrain. So Dual Wing Beat does a ton of damage, putting in good work in this game. And I'm at the position now where Heracross can basically just win the game. So they're going to take out Ndidi and try block my bullet punches again. So here I sack Volcarona to what could be an expanding force. I'll just Mystical Fire. That's okay with me because they actually lose another turn of their terrain to do this. As I do a hefty chunk of damage even at -1. So I'm at the position now where Heracross kind of just comes in and clicks Close Combat. If they swap into Diggersby, as they give me Ndidi. So as I was saying, if they swap into Diggersby here, I would have swapped out Heracross and sacked something else. So they can quick attack, but they can't quick attack because of their own psychic terrain. So that's game 1. My first win, which is nice. And I'm going to find another game, so I'll be right back. So we are back, and it's against a mono psychic team. So mono psychic can't be slept on. It can actually be somewhat tough, especially because my Volcarona is not running Bug Buzz, which I might have to change. So again, I really hate Ndidi in this game, but I love Heracross. I'm going to open up Vikavolt as it's kind of a strong neutral lead as they go Jirachi. So I'm going to just click Bug Buzz here and do tons of damage on the Hatterene that comes out. Nice. So taking Hatterene is really good in the early game. They probably expected me to go for a Sticky Web, which is why Vikavolt's a great lead. So I do tons of damage to their Jirachi as they're not Choice Scarf, which is good information, and I just take their Jirachi here. So it puts me in the position now where this is very threatening, and it's bulky enough to live a non-specs hit from Ndidi, but with a Gardevoir on the team I expect Ndidi to probably be Choice Specs. Which is okay because Heracross outspeeds both of these things. Unfortunately, unboosted, I don't think it can one-hit KO Gardevoir, but it can definitely one-hit KO Ndidi. So great start to the game for me. Taking care of Jirachi and mostly taking care of Hatterene is super important. So as I said, I expect this to be specs, so I'm going to go Araquanid on the Expanding Force, which is indeed specs. So that did a ton of damage. I'll liquidate in case they went into Hatterene. That's surely specs damage. As we have it up here, Expanding Force, 66%. So that is, yeah, do this choice specs. Is that Psychic Terrain up? Where is, Psychic Terrain is up. Nice, so it kind of proves to me that is specs. So I can kind of come in on Heracross and just click knockoff here and do tons of damage. It should knock out Ndidi. Its defenses are pretty bad. I have to worry about Alakazam in the late game. It could be a counter Sash variant. But I hate Psychic Terrain, so getting rid of Ndidi is super important for me. If they give me Hatterene, that's okay because I actually get boosted on Heracross as well. Thanks to Moxie. So they're in the position now where they kind of have to sack something. And out of curiosity, I'll see if it 2-hit KOs Gardevoir. Choice Scarf. Heracross. So knock off at +1. Almost 2-hit KO. Almost 1-hit KOs Gardevoir, but a KO afterwards. Nice. So they give me that. So this is almost certainly screams I'm counter because I came out on you. So I'm going to go into Vikavolt here. As they went for a Psyshock. Not really revealing to me if they're counter or not, unfortunately. I'll go Scizor as I don't think there's anything I can do. And Dual Wing Beat kind of claims a KO here. Unfortunately, it doesn't because it misses. I'll go Volcarona. It's a nice middle ground on what Mew can do, which exactly is Wisping. And I Quiver Dance in this thing's face. So we know this is specs. So I should 2-hit KO with Fiery Dance. And I shouldn't die to an Expanding Force. Even though that's very strong. But I will Giga Drain here for a bit of recovery. As they take in Mew. That's okay because I get a decent bit of recovery, and Fiery Dance does a good chunk here too. Nice. As they taunt me, that's okay. So they're in the position, I'm in the position now where I outspeed their entire team and kind of just click Giga Drain for recovery. So unfortunately I'm not a Bug Buzz variant, but it's kind of paying off in this particular game. The reason I went Psychic is for Toxapex because my team does struggle a lot against grass. Actually water, my bad. So I just Giga Drain here for more recovery, to hopefully ensure that I live Gardevoir and Alakazam's attacks. As they go into Gardevoir, that's okay with me, because I do get a good bit of recovery here off Giga Drain. So Volcarona proving quite useful here. If I was Bug Buzz, the game would be over a lot quicker, but this is okay too. So I will just Giga Drain again to break its Sash, as Side Shock doesn't even kill, and that's thanks to my max defense bold nature, GG. So I'm going to look for probably one more game, and I'll be right back. So we found another game, and it's against Mono Fire, so naturally this can be extremely tough for me. I love Araquanid in this game, it's super important. Vikavolt is decent too, but I fear this could be a Lightning Rod Marowak. Heracross is okay too, for just to click Stone Edges, and Golisopod is nice as well. Scizor is mostly dead weight, I'll use it as a sack, so I'm going to open up Vikavolt here, as they open up Turtonator. So unfortunately there's nothing I can do to threaten Turtonator really. But I'll try to click Thunderbolt in its face, as they are a Shell Smash variant with White Herb, so this can be quite dangerous for me, but they do give me a ton of damage, and I actually para turn 1, which is so big for me, as that looks to be their Rapid Spinner. So that exchange was massive for me. I could have swapped in Heracross and got a Stone Edge kill on it afterwards if it didn't end up that way. So they miss Pyro Ball. So RNG is just saying absolutely no way. I can't type. I mean, the game's far from over still, but the fact my Vikavolt put in that much work is absolutely insane to me. And I'm in the position now where Heracross is going to put in some serious work soon. So I'm going to try getting Araquanid and get a Sticky Web down. It won't slow down Volcarona, as that is strong. So I sack Scizor here. If they Flare Blitz, they take a ton of damage, which is important for Heracross, as they probably outspeed me, so I'm going to Bullet Punch for some chip. And they take tons of damage here from Flare Blitz as well. Nice, which puts Heracross in the position to kind of just click Stone Edge and potentially win this game. Please don't miss. I deserve it after the RNG I've been getting this game. Because this is like, I feel like I'm robbing this guy of points if I win, because of how lucky I was. That said, Golisopod is still super important in the late game for its ability to click like Aqua Jet and Liquidation, especially because they're not running any Sun. So I claim another KO with Heracross. And Heracross, as long as he lands these Stone Edges, I win the game. If not, between Volcarona and these two, I did some serious work. So I feel really bad. I absolutely robbed that game, and it was very quick, so I'm going to look for one more, I think. I'll be right back. So we found another game, and it's against Mono Fairy, and right off the bat I can see this is a super disruptive Mono Fairy. So this one I'm going to have to play quite challengingly, though Scizor is fantastic in this game. Just a quick shout out to the music, by the way. The track I'm using in this, I love Guzma's theme, and this is one of the coolest remixes I've heard for it, so a great song. But I'm opening up Vikavolt here just to kind of click Bug Buzz on what might be a substitute Whimsicott, as that does so much damage. I just click Bug Buzz again. Actually no, because something can easily swap in on this. But yeah, I click Bug Buzz again, it does tons of damage, as Klefki does Quarter by Resist, which lets them get up screens here. But I'm going to use this opportunity to set up my own spikes, as they go for Substitute. Oh, this could be scary. But Volcarona should be able to break this. So I'm actually going to go to Volcarona right now, just in case it starts Calm Minding, as they are Draining Case and get the burn, which is important for me here. So they go in Whimsicott and give me Whimsicott. That's nice. If the Slurpuff is Belly Drum, I don't mind too much, because Bullet Punch absolutely takes care of it. As they go back into Klefki, weird play, because I can just Quiver Dance in your face, as they are indeed a Calm Mind build. That's okay, because here I just start clicking Fiery Dance and kind of scoring KOs. I don't care one bit about Draining Case, it doesn't do much damage to me at all. and actually does no damage. And I'm in the position here where I think Fiery Dance kind of just wins the game. So this person is decently high up on the ladder. The reason I got these spikes down early is to break this thing's sash. So this often goes for like a sash, endeavor, maybe shell bell. I can't even remember. No, it's a sash leech seed build with sub or something. So it kind of just like stalls you forever. As you can see, it's going to try start doing that now. But that's okay because it will run out of HP eventually, and it can't leech seed me because you die if you do. So they've gone for a full like disruptive team. I don't care at all. I just click Fiery Dance in your face, which actually takes the hit quite nicely. But it's okay because I have Bullet Punch in the back. This also gets priority on Draining Kiss thanks to its triage ability, which again does very little. And these two things aren't any threat to me at all. So that's going to be the showcase today. I hope you enjoyed Bug. I had loads of fun recording this. Got some interesting games. Absolutely do feel like I robbed that fire player, but that's just how Pokemon goes sometimes. So hopefully you enjoyed. Feel free to leave me any teams or let me know what types you want me to play next. You can go over to my Discord, which I've linked down below, and we can just kind of chat there, chat about monotype. Just let me know what you want to see from my content, and I hope you all have a fantastic day. Take care.